Don't forget to subscribe for more updates.
Pelosi Stuttering, Stammers, appears on something as she attacks GOP tax bill. During House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi's daily press briefing Thursday, a day before the Senate finally passed the GOP's sweeping tax reform bill, she gave America more embarrassing evidence that it's long past time she left the national stage. Pelosi was clearly trying to portray some kind of moral outrage, but right from the onset, the 77-year-old congresswoman behaved like a senile senior fast approaching the onset of full-blown dementia. First, she walked by a giant sign labeled GOP tax sham but, as she arrived at the podium, looked over her left shoulder in search of that very same sign. Upon realizing that it was to her right, she pivoted and announced, "Here it is, the GOP tax scam. And here you are, the Democrat Party's Achilles heel." Pelosi then began babbling her complaints about the tax bill, repeating and slurring her words like the iPhone's Siri stuck in a loop. Pelosi has embarrassed herself in public before, of course, but this time came off differently. The careful, but botched, enunciation gave the impression she was on something. She sounded like a driver who's had a few too many trying to tell a cop exactly how he was just heading home. Listen to a compilation of Pelosi's stuttering and stammering pieced together by the folks over at the American Mirror. "It will unravel the ACA," she said, using liberal terminology for what normal Americans call Obamacare. The Senate version of the tax reform would repeal Obamacare's individual mandate. "The sneaky ACA reform," she then repeated. "Repeal sneaky ACA repeal. Took you long enough to get that right, Nancy. It's a lethal attack on the middle class, on America's jobs, on Americans' jobs," she later said. Interestingly, a transcript of this briefing posted to Pelosi's House website didn't include most of her mistakes. "It's a lethal attack on the middle class, on Americans' jobs, good health, and education, on the children and seniors." How convenient. Pelosi also slurred her speech when speaking about veterans, referring to them as ever veterans, and spoke of congressional bipartisanship in regard to her hopes Congress will pass legislation to protect illegal immigrant children. When later criticizing President Donald Trump for his alleged refusal to hear her arguments in favor of former President Barack Obama's Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, which Trump rescinded earlier this fall, Pelosi then said something astounding. "How can you judge judgment be respected if you don't even know what you're talking about?" she uttered. Said the lady who enthusiastically voted in favor of Obamacare 7 years ago despite admitting to not knowing what was inside the bill. "Nice try, though. I'm not an ageist or whatnot, but I got to wonder, does an aging woman with so many glaring issues really need to be leading the Democrat Party?" I would typically argue no, though given the effect her leadership has had on the party, I'm tempted to yell, heck yes.